So basically, what I was just telling Jaden, I decided I wanted to record this and share with y'all, is during the Industrial Revolution, with the change of farming practices and the way we eat and the way we grow our food, they started growing more of it. They wanted it bigger. They depleted the soil without giving the soil its nutrients back. And the practices of giving the soil its nutrients back using chemical fertilizers makes the food less good for you. The food is no longer good for you because it's not grown in nutrient-dense soil. So the soil doesn't have the nutrients to give to the plant. So therefore our food don't have the nutrient content in it that we need, that our bodies need to thrive. So that's why growing our own food is ideal, and getting supplements, like actual good supplements, not the supplements like I was telling Jaden with the vitamin C. Most of the vitamin C that you get from the store, it's going to be a chemical version of the actual thing. So it's going to be like folic acid instead of actual vitamin C that you would get from like an orange, which oranges don't even have the amount of vitamin C they say they're supposed to. It's mostly in the peel, but you got to get organic oranges, non-GMO, and make sure they haven't been sprayed with pesticides, because they've all been sprayed with pesticides. But anyway, so our food doesn't have the nutrients. We take the supplement, make sure it's a really, really good supplement though, and it's actually organic, coming from organic, non-GMO foods. And also, your nutrients is being eaten up by parasites. Most people have parasites. And me and Jaden were also just talking about this. There's the worst parasite I found out recently is the liver fluke. And these liver flukes attach to your liver. Even toddlers, even little ones have these things. People are giving it detox regimens to their children, and their children are passing these things, but they lead to diabetes, all these diseases, heart disease, and they feed off primarily heavy metals. So it's coming from the heavy metals in the foods, from the processing, the heavy metals in the sky, from the cloud seeding, the heavy metals in all the foods, really. They're finding it in baby food now, so it's really hard to believe that's not intentional. But it could just be the heavy metals from the packing and how it's packaged and processed through these machines. But back to the parasites. So these parasites will send a signal to the brain telling you to eat sugar, because they crave sugar, they live off sugar. And this liver flukes actually live off of heavy metals, like that. They're sustained by the heavy metals. I just wanted to add these quick photos of the effects of heavy metals on the body and the symptoms that people are having and that they have been found to have. The biofilm they live in, they make with heavy metals somehow. I don't know a whole lot about that yet, so I'm not going to speak on it as much. But I do know parasites will send signals to your brain to give it more sugar. So people are craving things with sugar and they don't even know why. Sugar's in everything. Every single thing they've put sugar in, because sugar is very addictive. And it's not just sugar, it's highly processed, bleached chemical, because they use chemical to extract out of the sugar plant, the sugar cane. Like it's really, really toxic stuff, and it's common sense to me that none of these practices are good for the human body. So we need education. People need to know these things, because people don't know. And they're going to the doctor, they can't figure out what's wrong with them. The doctor can't figure out what's wrong with them. All the doctors know is what they've been taught. to give you some kind of medicine that causes more problems later down the line. And you keep having these problems, and I've watched so many different people go through this my entire life, and it's always just been bizarre to me. Like, I've always had the feeling like these doctors don't have our best interests at heart. Like, I think a lot of them, and they do have good intentions, but the way they've been programmed to think about things, any of them that are still doctors right now in the current medical industrial complex are going with the program. The ones who aren't have quit, and they're really good doctors, and they're really good people. These doctors are really good, but unfortunately there's money behind this stuff. You know, there's a lot of money in medicine. And if you look into the Rockefeller Medical Institution and how that all started, you start to see why. And you start to see that everything's connected. Everything affects everything else. Back to the parasites, though. We need to clear our bodies. We need to give our bodies the nutrients they need and take care of them so our bodies can regenerate and heal itself. We give our bodies the alkaline food, the good, clean, hydrogenated water, and get the crap out. Cut all the toxic stuff. Stop eating garbage, because like everything processed. So basically you want to go as raw as possible and cut out all processed foods, because there's preservatives and sugars and artificial sweeteners are the worst.
And meat.
Yep, and most meat. And the meat, it's because of the growth hormones and the antibiotics and how they're being treated, because the fear that's released when these animals are killed and kept the way they are is going into their cellular structure, and we're eating that. We are what we eat.
That's the chicken.
And I'm not perfect. I've come a long way. My diet was horrible. My acne, a lot of my issues, parasites. My infection in my heart, parasites. And that's how I found this out the hard way. You know, I've gone through hell, and I'm still detoxing this crap. But you look at me 5 years ago compared to today, massive difference. I mean, today I look a little bit tired because everything that's happening, but I feel good today. And I'm just grateful that I woke up to this stuff, and I'm really seeing why all that stuff had to happen, and why I went through what I went through to get here today. And I'm not keeping any of it from my little man over here. Both of my boys are gonna know, like, this is how you take care of yourself. This is why we do what we do. So, have more on this soon.